Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise in support of this important legislation to support the Ukrainian people and stand up to Russian aggression. Just a few days ago, the House of Representatives acted decisively, passing similar legislation authored by myself and by Mr. Eliot Engel of New York, our ranking member. We authored that vote, we authored that bill, and I might add that Mr. Engel himself, his forefathers came from the Ukraine and suffered under that region's long and tortured history. But the bill passed 399 to 19 on the House floor. I prefer the more comprehensive bill backed by the House. But with today's vote, we will send this bill to the Senate, demonstrating bipartisan support for Ukraine at this critical time. Importantly, this bill expands the sanctions available to be imposed on Russia's leaders for their actions. The President should be using all of this authority in conjunction with our European allies, putting as much pressure in place as quickly as we can. Our targets must include those who exercise influence over Russian policy, including the so-called oligarchs and others who have amassed enormous wealth through government corruption. Ukraine faces many challenges that will not be resolved quickly or easily. This legislation responds quickly to help Ukrainians help themselves, helping to strengthen civil society and combat corruption. The task of righting Ukraine is made all the more difficult given the threat of Russian troops on its borders. And while the Russian army threatens Ukraine's east, it is Russia's considerable energy resources that allow Moscow to hold all of Ukraine hostage. For many years, Moscow has used its supply of oil and gas to blackmail Ukraine and to blackmail other countries, including some of our NATO allies in Eastern Europe. This morning, Gazprom announced that it would hike the price for natural gas to Ukraine by 44%, an announcement deliberately timed to worsen that country's economic situation. We can remove this weapon from Russia's arsenal by lifting the self-imposed barriers on U.S. energy exports. The greatly enhanced supply of oil and natural gas added to the world market, if we were to ship into Ukraine and into Hungary, into the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, all of these countries has written to the Speaker of the House requesting us to do that, and that would undermine Russia's stranglehold on other countries and reduce the revenues that comprise 52% of Moscow's budget for its military and its government. That would get Putin's attention, imposing a cost for aggression. I will add that Mr. Engel and myself will be traveling with a delegation, bipartisan delegation, to Ukraine in a few weeks, and let me urge all members to support this legislation. I'll reserve the balance of my time.